Okay, my name is Michael Foley. I am the professor of martial art, which just means that I am a 9th degree black belt, founder of Kodokan Combined Martial Art, and a couple other things. You know, we do a Cinco Set Eskrima. That's something that I put together from other Filipino stick fighting styles that I've studied over the years. And we also do Tai Chi Chuan, very specific style of that, taken from different Chinese Kung Fu martial arts. Today I'm going to talk about our Kodokan Combined Martial Art and why we call it that. Originally it was just Kodokan, but because I realized that, yeah, I teach a combination of a lot of things. We've got the karate, so we're doing, you know, regular karate blocks and punches. That's all going to be incorporated in there. But we also have jiu-jitsu, traditional Japanese / Hawaiian jiu-jitsu. So that's where we're standing up and we do throws, take them on the ground, and once we get them on the ground, we drop them, we get them in an arm bar, snap their arm off and beat them with it. And we also have judo, which is taken from jiu-jitsu, and that's just all the throws. So we train in all of that. We also have elements of Aikido. I trained over in Hawaii in Aikido. And that is more, you know, joint manipulation and twisting and torquing and taking the person down with minimal damage, I guess they would say. Even though once you twist somebody's arm too far and they fall on their face, yeah, there's a little bit of damage going on there. But also I went to Thailand and I learned, you know, some Muay Thai kickboxing. So we incorporate some of the kickboxing techniques into our combination of martial art style. We also do weapons, Filipino stick fighting, and from the stick fighting comes the knife fighting. We also do, as a very traditional weapon from Okinawa, the bow staff, a nice tall 6-foot bow staff that we utilize. And it's all mixed into one. So the style is all of that combined, but it was put together in such a way that you start out with very basic movements, how to properly do blocks, making sure that you're blocking the right way so you can prevent from getting hit, right way to do a punch. You know, a lot of schools, especially in the old days, they would carry their hands low and throw their elbows out when they punch because it made a nice popping sound with their uniform. Well, that's all good and grand, but if you punch in a straight line, then you make a crunching sound on the bad guy when you hit him. I think that's a little bit more impressive than popping the shirt of your uniform. So the way we train is very traditional, but with a modern application. So I hope that's not too confusing. But when you learn the proper way to punch, and that includes the straight line approach with the arm, but also the pulling action of the other arm, so that you incorporate the pull punch and makes it more powerful. We do quite a few kicks. I also traveled to Korea in my military travels. Was able to train over there in a couple of Korean martial arts that, as we all know, are very big on kicking. So we have lots and lots of kicks in our style. And, well, case in point, I think we have something like 14 separate roundhouse kicks. So there's just a lot of ways to kick somebody in a lot of different positions. You'll find yourself in scenarios that you have to be ready for. You know, we might want to kick them in the leg. We might want to bring it up into the ribs. It's always a good time to, you know, whip it up there, kick them in the head. But we use many different types of self-defense techniques. But, and here's the big one, we train for the actual combat, for actual self-protection. So it's not coming into a school being charged $200 a month or something ridiculous. And then all you do is, oh, kick a target and back and kick a target. And it's just, and then when you do punches, nobody really cares. The instructor doesn't try to correct you. Well, that's not the way we do it at the Hand-to-Hand Combat Training Center. The instructors are going to say, nope, that's not right. Do it more like this. And they're going to help. They're going to help you get the punch so it'll work. That's the big thing. So don't let yourself get sucked into some of these schools and you go in and you watch and they're just, and there's no effort. There's nobody correcting them. Don't let that happen. Look for a good school. And I'm not saying we're the only good school, but we are a good school. And for some of the people that have seen some of our videos, and I've heard comments like, oh, just because you wear a military uniform doesn't make you military. Well, what makes me military is serving 32 years in the U.S. Army, and most of that Special Operations Command. Traveling all over the world and having to fight for my life. So if I say something works, that comes out of experience. If I say a Tiger Claw strike going right to the middle of the face is going to smash their nose, pop the jaw when you hit the chin, and hopefully one of those fingers is going to poke them in the eye and they're going to fall backward, then do it that way, because that's the way it's going to work. So keep your eyes open and your mind working when you go in to look for a martial art school. And more people are these days because of the weird stuff that's going on in our world. So if you look around and you think you found one, come back to this video and listen to some of the things I'm talking about, and then see if that matches up with the one you think you found. So Kodokan Combined Martial Art will teach you many things. My black belts can go into a good hardstyle karate school and train right in there with their black belts and probably not even miss a lick. Be able to follow them, do everything they're doing. They can go to a traditional jiu-jitsu school and they'll know all of the throws and how to fall. They'll go into weapons schools that primarily teach weapons, and they'll know how to do the bow and the eskrima and probably 2 or 3 other weapons really well. And yet here, that's all part of the criteria. That's what you do. It's just automatic, that's what you do. So you get good at all of them without really realizing you've got actually 3 or 4 black belts instead of just 1. So look for a good school. If you're in the area of North Idaho, we're in Hayden, Idaho, right on 95. And any of you guys out there that make those nasty comments, come on by. Tell it to my face. And we'll have a little discussion about it. Okay? So look for the good ones. We're one of them.